Hello and welcome to C++ programming. This is CIS 61 at Shasta College. My name is Jeff and I will be your instructor for the course. Uh, just really quickly, if you're interested in taking the next level C++ course and you're looking at the catalog and you're like, oh wait, there's only one C++ class. No, instead of going, we went, it's kind of weird. The numbering is weird, but from 61, it goes up, and 65 is our second level C++ course. And I know there's, every number in between. 62 is Java. 63, I think, is assembler. I don't even remember what 64 is right now. But 65 will be the course you'd want for the second level. So anyway, I just want to mention that really quickly. It'll come up later in the semester. I'll have a reminder for you, just so you know when it's time to consider your next courses. So anyway, so that's that. Let's go over some of the housekeeping. If you haven't taken a course from me before, I like to make videos, and they're pretty heavy at the beginning because I make videos for getting started and usually the first couple chapters. And then after that, I kind of back off a little bit when usually what I find is students get the hang of it with the online courses and how it's run and what to expect and all that kind of stuff. And so I'll back off a little bit. So it's a little heavy at the beginning, which is good if you're just starting out in C++, and you haven't maybe taken our CIS2 course before, the Python course, so that it'll kind of help you get going. But anyway, you'll see. So let me in this video, I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes. Usually I try and keep my videos 5 minutes or less, but there's sometimes I get a little bit long-winded. Sorry, and I tend to talk fast, but I know with YouTube you can pause it, go back or whatever. So anyway, so let me talk about just starting out with the syllabus, and you've got the link right in here, so right underneath the little video. And let's talk about getting a hold of me. So you can see on here, this is my office number. And this particular number, I put a little note in here about contacting me by email if I don't answer the phone. What I mean by that is if you call and I don't pick up the phone, you can of course leave me a message, and I check my messages, although typically not unless I'm in my office. But when you call it, if I don't pick up the phone, that typically means that if it's during my office hours, that typically means that somebody else is in the office, and I don't answer the phone if someone else is in there. So you can leave me a voicemail, but the best way to get a hold of me is through the inbox in Canvas. So or email. I put email on here too. The inbox in Canvas is probably the best way because it tracks it a little bit better, tags it to the course and all that. So which is on the inbox is on the left-hand side of Canvas in the little green ribbon area. So that's the best way. So using that, or you can email me as well, and I'm usually pretty good about getting back to you. I'll normally I get back to you within 24 hours. A lot of times it's less than that. So if you have questions, use the inbox through Canvas or send me a direct message through my regular Shasta College email, and I'll get back to you that way. It's much better than the phone, unless I happen to be sitting there and pick up the phone. All right, so because I can check it from anywhere. I tend to do a lot of different things for the college. They, I don't know, send me different places, and so I'm not always around necessarily, during the week. So, although I am there a lot. So if you want to stop by and see me, best way is shoot me an email. Just make sure I'm going to be around, but you can always just swing in. So I'm in 1310A. There are actually several of us in there. If you've been into C, Zabi, he's in, I think his is B. Tom Martin's in C. So we're all in 1310. It's actually really nice. It's an X division office. So we have a lot of room because there used to be a dean in there. So we have a nice, I don't know, this little round conference table and some computers around in there. So if you haven't been in there, it's a great place to come by and throw out your laptop or use one of the computers there, and for us to take a look at things. So keep that as an option, and you can swing by and hopefully stop by and see me anytime. I will for sure be there during my office hours, but unless I happen to be sent somewhere by the college, and I'll let you know if that happens. All right, so I just wanted to mention, if you haven't taken CIS2, which is our introductory course to computer science, and it's morphed into a beginning course in programming in Python. It's a great course. I love it. I happen to love Python, so it's really pretty nice. And that kind of leads me over to something that I'm just going to roll over here, and pythontutor.com. So we will use, for this course, we're going to use online coding platforms. So we're going to use two. So we'll use REPL or Repel.it, which however you want to say that. And then we have pythontutor.com. And yes, it says Python, but we are going to be using it with C++ as well. It has limited functionality. Philip created it for Philip Guo, so thank you very much for creating this site. You can see a video right under here, best programming tool ever. I really think it is, especially for new programmers, because it walks through step by step, and you get to see what the computer is thinking along the way at each step and what it's doing. So it's a great tool. It is limited for C++, but we can use it at the beginning, and then later on, I actually see people will use it once you understand the limitations of it. You can go back in and use it for some advanced things too. So with function use or maybe with arrays to be able to see kind of what's going on if you have any kind of errors or anything. So it's a great tool. And REPL, just really quickly, and there's a video that goes along with that too. This is online cloud storage. So and this group is killing it. So they keep adding additional languages, they keep adding additional functions, additional features on the site, and it's all free. So it's great. So don't sign up. Of course, Python Tutor's free as well, but don't sign up for a pay account. You don't need it. So everything you do is free as far as these two sites go. Make sure you watch this fork video. So you definitely want to fork. It is cloud-based. So I'll give you a quick example. If you have a piece of code and you're like, hey, I want to add. I want this other program is really similar to this new program I'm trying to do, so I'm going to use this old one. You want to fork it, which just basically means copy and paste into a new file, because otherwise you write over the top of your old program. So you have to be a little bit careful of that. All right, so quick video links down here. We have changing YouTube quality settings. If you're not familiar with that, pause this video right now, click on this, go in and see how to change the quality settings. All of my videos are recorded in 1080p. The author videos, I think most of them are 720p, but still make sure they're at the highest settings so that things are nice and clear for you when we're looking at this stuff. You'll see on here, I kind of skipped over this for now, but well, I'm coming back up to it now. We have this thing called my programming lab. If you haven't taken one of my coding classes before, I like this particular site and this particular tool, and you have to buy a license for it. So you'll see a number will be here once you open up the course, but now it just says TBA. I'll put the code in after. But we have a couple different things. So there's a couple pieces, and you'll see information here too as well. So the ISBN for our book, for a new version of our book, there's the two different numbers there, and this little piece right here is just a Word document with screenshots to walk through how to buy the digital version of it. Or if you go to like Amazon and you copy and paste this number in there, it'll pull up the book. Now, a new copy of the book comes with a license key for my programming lab. Okay, so this is just a link for that. You'll see there's an option down here for buying the book. There's a video for this as well, and then this video goes into how my programming lab works. It's a tool for you. I don't use it as a testing software. I don't. I use it more as a tool, so the video describes that too. So you get to see that a little bit later on. But the way that this works is you get the textbook, and let's say you don't want to buy a brand new textbook. You want to rent one, or your buddy gave you a used one, whatever it might be, right? You can actually just go ahead and go in and buy, and this video goes over it as well, and you can see it in the screenshots in here. But you can just buy a license for my programming lab, and it runs about $50. Now if you want to buy a digital copy of the book with a license for my programming lab, it runs I think 97. So $97 for both. So you're going to have to have a license key for my programming lab. So it's roughly another $47 to $50 to just get the digital edition of the book. So I see a lot of people just buy the digital edition of the book. So that's totally up to you. Or boom, this is a brand new one that comes, a text version of it comes with an e-text and also the My Programming Lab license. So again, totally up to you how you want to do that. Okay. Just want to mention really quick while we're talking about that, and we're talking about setting up. You're going to have an account with those of you that have taken another course. You already have it probably, but you're going to have a Pearson account, an online account. So if you've got one already, great. You'll use it to set this up. If not, you're going to have to set one up to be able to have my Programming Lab access. And when you're setting the account up, this is something that I always get questions on. There are different codes that are provided in the books. Let's say you buy a book. On the inside cover of the book, there's a scratch off, and that code on the inside cover gives you access to a website. You enter that code, it gives you access to videos and a few other little things. All of that stuff is provided. I provide the links, direct links in Canvas. So you'll see those later on as we get to each chapter. So when we have our you know videos from Tony Gaddis, our author, on how to do a particular, perform a different feature or whatever it might be. Those videos are on there. The links I paste them right in Canvas, and you're good to go. So the link, the little, if you buy a used book and that code has already been it's been scratched off, somebody already used it. Don't worry about it. You don't need it. Everything's in Canvas, so you can ignore that. That's one code that's in there. That is not the same thing as when you're setting up this account and it says, "Do you have an access code for my programming lab or for Pearson?" You do not. You haven't gotten it yet. So you can only get that code through buying it when you're on that site, or if you buy a new textbook, it comes with like a card, and the card, there's a tear off, and then inside that card it has an access code. Okay, that's also not the same thing as this course ID. So when this is TBA is gone, you'll see the code here, and so that particular one you have to get access to this. You have to buy the My Programming Lab license. Then they ask you for the course ID, and you'll put in this number. Okay, so anyway, so I get questions on that sometimes. If when you're going through the process, if something stumps you and you're like, I don't know what to do next, just shoot me an email or give me a call. All right, so not too big a deal. And you'll see, I try to provide with this stuff. I try to provide you some information so that you can check that stuff out. All right. Anyway, what else, real quick? I put this little warning in here. This is sort of old school, I guess, left over from the Cold War, where I can't. I don't know. I use a MacBook Pro and it works fine. We're not installing anything. You can choose to install things if you'd like, but for what we're doing, it's all cloud-based. We're going to use REPL or Python Tutor for things. Other than that, we're not installing anything. So I don't think you have any issues with using a Mac. So I'll just mention that really quickly. And other than that, I think that's about it. You'll see the first chapter is sort of a, I don't know, beginning computer chapter in the book. It's a hardware and software one. If you've taken CIS2, it's essentially the same chapter that Tony Gaddis uses in all his books. And you'll see I like to use his books and use a lot of the same problems because I think it's fun. And I've had good feedback from students about, having coding something in Python and then they see it in C++ or Java or whatever, and so it's fun for them to see the differences as they're doing them. So I tend to like doing things that way. There are some different ones too, but I like to use some of the same programs. So it'll be kind of interesting for you if you've done that before. All right. So any questions? I went a little bit long. Well, now we're at 12 minutes. Sorry. But if you have any questions pop up about this stuff or anything else or expectations or any of that kind of good stuff, just let me know. Send me an email. Otherwise, have fun, and I hope you enjoy C++.